Good morning, traders. Welcome to the live trading room. I hope you are all doing well and you're having a good morning. Still 10 a.m. in South Africa. Right, so the market looks pretty interesting. There are some trade setups that we're going to look at and some that are already playing out that we have looked at a couple of weeks back. Right, so let's get started. We'll start with the DXY and Euro US dollar. Let's start with the DXY and Euro US dollar. There's something interesting on the DXY and Euro US dollar. Let's see how we can manage this. Let's first have a look at the bigger structure. Let's first have a look at the sequence and the cycle. Let's look at the DXY. Don't forget to check out, I think you may have already checked out the chart of the week. Let's have a look at US dollar pairs. Welcome Tendai. Good morning. Let's have a look at the DXY. We'll start with the DXY. We'll look at the euro as well. Let's first look at the daily chart. So here's why we have been looking at the structures for the DXY as follows. Morning, Gerard. So if you look at the daily chart, the long-term chart, we're looking at a 5-wave move to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're looking to complete wave 5 now. We're looking to complete this wave 5, and this is where the trade setup is coming from. So as you know, we have been tracking this correction for the last couple of weeks. Looks to be complete, and it looks like we're now getting a setup to go for that wave 5. Okay, so that's what we have there. So the bigger structure here, this, just to show you, actually, let me not go through this because Sandile has already gone through this during the technical analysis yesterday. So very interesting structure here, because with the A, B, C corrective structure, we want to get the trade to the downside. So the difference between the afternoon, or rather the 11 a.m. GMT webinar and this one, is that I am not going through the whole cycle like Sandile would, taking you through the whole sequence in the cycle and the long-term view, short, medium to long-term view. What I'm doing here is to look at the next immediate move that we can take advantage of. And we are now looking to take advantage of this. And that is what we're looking for right now. Right, so let's have a look here. In the lower time frame, 4 hour, what are we looking for? We now have completed a 3-wave structure in the red degree, WXY in the red degree. Now we're looking for this to continue to the downside. Now with that, we're looking for this one to give us a bit of a corrective structure. We've got a very shallow retracement here, but this is what we're looking at. The indicators are confirming the structure. So we just need to get the structure to confirm as well. So the structure is here. We'll look at that in the current chart, and we're looking for this one to continue to the downside. Let's have a look at the 1 hour chart. It will just be the detail of this. Let's go to the 1 hour. So you can see where this comes from, 1 hour. So the 1 hour, as you can see, is already updated. We already have 5 waves to the downside, and we've got a pullback in wave 4. This is where we are currently on the 1 hour. Now, we may get a drop here on the 1 hour. You need to be careful because you'll get that trade set up. The indicators are confirming downside, but the indicators won't tell you how far the move is going to go. 2 things you can do. You can take the trade current levels. Obviously, you cannot wait until you get this deeper pullback first, because this may be all, and this may be the start of wave 1 in the red degree. So what you do is you take the trade, let it run up to around those levels, you move your stop to break even. Okay, so that if it's going to pull back for a 2, then you're going to look for another new entry from around those levels. That's how we're going to manage this. So do not leave this trade set up simply because you want a deeper pullback. Yes, the current one is pretty shallow and it looks like a running flat. Let me show that one with the yellow degree. It does look like a running flat here. 1, 2, and this can drop like this. Okay, That could be a running flat. So let's have a look at this. This can actually also still just push a little bit higher and make a complete flat correction here. Still drops, comes down with divergence on the RSI, makes a pullback in 2 before we drop. So how do we manage this? Take the trade at the break below this flag. Okay, will the indicators confirm? Currently, they are in support of what we are looking at. Indicators are showing us that we may get a move to the downside. We have not broken below that trend line yet, so we can still push up higher, up to this level, and then we come down. Now that move, this is where you're gonna take the trade. When you get to around these levels, we're forecasting a wave 5, move your stop to break even. Okay, why would you want to do that? Because you can then get that pullback in wave 2. Okay, you can get the pullback in wave 2, then it's going to take you out for no loss. What you're going to do here is you're going to wait for this to give you another setup. Why should you not just leave it and put a stop loss here? Because you don't know if this can actually come and do this structure. Then you've actually lost a trade. So you'd rather be out for break even than lose a trade. So that's trade management. Okay, so that's how we're going to look at this. All right, so what about the indicators? Are they confirming the structure that we are looking at? This is a corrective structure. The structure is still not complete. We want it to break lower here. The stock RSI is at the top. We are below 50 here. So the indicators are supporting downside here. Okay, so that's what we're looking at on the DXY. Now there's a trade setup, obviously should be a trade setup on the euro. We'd want to take the trade on the euro. So we are looking at the RSI, we are well above 50 and we've reset tested here. We've got our move here in 5 waves as well. We'll be looking for this to pull back down here. Then we're looking for this to break above this and push to the upside. And then we'll look for this one to maybe pull back and then push to the upside. Very likely that this is the move that will happen. Okay, so that's how we're going to manage this trade. This will be a trade setup. We can even put in an alert here. Let's put in an alert so that it notifies us when that starts happening. What I'll do here, so that is Euro US dollar. I've created my alert. So I usually just put this a little bit above this flag here so that when it actually touches the alert, then it's already well above the boundary here. So that's how we'll be looking at this. Right, so let's watch this for the next couple of days, not couple of days, for the next couple of candles and see how this sets up. It looks like we're gonna have one more down here. We can have one more down, but we're still looking at this as a flag. If we have one more down and a push to the upside, then we're gonna have this structure here. Let's show this with different colors. Let's show this with different colors. This will be a complex correction, but we are still within the corrective structure. Okay, we're still within the corrective structure here, and we'll be looking for this to complete as follows. Okay, so that's our trade there. That is what we're looking at. A break above that will be a trigger for a trade to the upside for that wave 5. Okay, so if we just show you the daily on Euro US dollar as well. That's the daily on Euro US dollar. So we're looking for these 5 waves and for this to give us the last 5 wave here in the yellow degree. The 5th wave here. All right, so that is what we're looking at on Euro US dollar. We already have this is where we are. We're looking for this and then continuation to the upside. Right, that's our trade setup. We'll be looking at that. We'll post it up when it confirms. So we'll post it up close to confirmation, at least when it has broken above that line. Right, so even if we are not on the screen, so you know that to take the trade, you need to have the candle in the on the 4 hour, because we're looking at this on the 4 hour. There's no trade setup on this on the 1 hour. The strategy is not giving us a trade setup on the 1 hour. I'll show you what I mean by that. So you take it on the 1 hour when this 4 hour candle closes above this boundary. Remember now I've moved the boundary, it must just be on top here. That's how we're going to be looking at that. So 4 hour, you've seen the indicators are confirming. We are in the bottom, we are still above 50. We're looking for upside. Now 1 hour, you do not have a setup. That's why we're taking this one on the 4 hour. That is the difference between the 2 time frames, so we take the trade setups. So on the 1 hour, 1 hour maybe a trade is maybe a trade setup as well. It's confirming here as well. But this can just be to push up here and then come back down before we push to the upside. So it's better to take it on the 4 hour, but it's good that the 1 hour is also supporting upside as well. We are above 50 here on the RSI and we've reset here as well. So the 1 hour can push up to the top of the boundary, come back down and then upside as we're focusing on the 1 hour. Right, so let's have a look at how that is going to play out. US dollar chief. Let's go 4 hour. So if you look on the 1 hour, US dollar chief is going to continue lower. This is going to continue lower. There's not a trade setup. I'm just showing you direction here. It's going to continue lower. We're still coming down here. That is US dollar chief. Let's go to the 4 hour. See if we've got a trade setup on the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, we would want to get a decent corrective structure. But as you can see, we are well below 50. We are at the top, but we would want to see something like this. If we reset here at the top, that would be a very good one to take it here. But so far, there is no trade setup. This could be another one that we'll be looking at in the next couple of sessions. US dollar CAD is setting up as well for downside, continuation pattern to the downside. This can actually be another trade setup as well. When if this one here, this looks like a three-wave structure to the upside here, 1, 2, 3. So we'll be looking for this to continue to the downside. Okay, RSI, stock RSI is at the top. The RSI is just above 50 here, but we want it to dip below here. So when you take this one here, you'd want to see the candle closing below the flag here. Now, to get the long-term view, the detail of this, remember we're posting up the charts as you can see here. Here are the charts here on the website. That is the video that was done yesterday detailing the long-term view, medium to long-term view of all the US dollar pairs. Okay. Can that be a running flat on US dollar chief? Let me just go back one on US dollar chief and see what you mean. US dollar chief. Yes, it can be, but remember a running flat will not give you a warning. It can be a running flat and then it starts dropping from here, or it can be an expanding flat, or it can be, you can just get here and be a regular flat. So remember what you want to do here is to confirm when this is below 50 here. Rather when this is below the low of the flag. As it is now, it looks like we're still going to push a little bit higher before we come down. Could even get an expanding flat before we drop. We're at the top, we're well below 50, so the move is still bearish. But yes, it can be a running flat if it pushes lower from there. But just looking at this, looks like we're going to have a bit of a push here, and then we'll look for downside. US dollar CAD, we're just looking at this one. So look at that confirmation for downside. This is what you want to do here. You want to have this candle here closing below the flag here to continue to the downside. So your chart, detailed chart here is here. You can go from daily to all the way down to the 1 hour. Also on US dollar CAD, I've detailed this one on the week during the weekly analysis as well. Right, so that is what we have here. We could actually have this one as a wave 4 here. We've actually done an update here. We were looking at this as a simple wave 4. So this is what we're looking at here now. This could be a wave 1 and we're starting with a wave 5 here. Now there is a wave 3 missing here. It's not that it's missing. We've just put up 1 and a 2. We don't want to put in a 3 in the middle of nowhere, okay, without anything here. So here we'll be getting the green degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wherever wave 3 is going to be, as follows. So that's why if you get a trade set up here on US dollar CAD, we'll be looking for this one to take it all the way down. Okay, remember our target here has been 120. So let's look for that entry on US dollar CAD. All right, that is US dollar CAD, Audi US dollar. So Audi US dollar, we've been looking for Audi US dollar to drop. It has just gone sideways since last week. Today is Tuesday. Yes, this was last week when we looked for this one to just go rally down into the blue box. Can that still happen? There is no continuation pattern currently, and this may seem like a structure like this. Let's have a look here. 3, 3, one more up, and then downside. So let's see if that is still going to play out. Let's watch that for now. We'll see how that plays out. So let's have a look here on the website, see the chart on Audi US dollar 4 hour. Let's look at, so that is the blue box that we're looking at. So that is the blue box that we're looking at. And then I want to look at the indicators. The 4 hour is not telling us anything on the indicator except that this is below 50. But let's look at the 1 hour if it's showing us any continuation pattern. 1 hour is not showing anything either. It actually is showing us that this is going to make a push to the upside if this breaks above here. So we're at the bottom here. If this one breaks above here, above the 50, we may see this one push a little bit higher. But let's see how this goes. So that push can be this on the 1 hour, and then we still continue to the downside. So we are looking for that to go rally into the blue box before pushing up higher. New Zealand US dollar, sideways as well. So we also looked for New Zealand US dollar to drop after making this correction, but as you can see, it has just gone sideways and it's busy with this corrective structure. So we are tracking the completion of this structure. We're actually looking for this to come down into the blue box. Our blue box is here. Has not done that, it's just gone sideways. It can still push down to the blue box here, but let's see how that goes. With the euro US dollar looking upside, that may change slightly. Remember, we don't have to go into the blue box. We don't have to test the blue box. We can reverse from current levels. So we'll see how this one is playing out. All right, let's go to, I want to look at gold now. Okay, let's look at that on the blog. So gold, we're looking for gold to get rally into the blue box, to move into the blue box. So as you know, we've got this move here, downside here has actually done this. So we updated the chart after this move to the upside. We still, even after that impulse, we still didn't think that that was ready to move to the upside. That's why we focused it. We went and updated that this is going to make another leg into the blue box, as I've also detailed yesterday. So we're still looking for gold to push lower. Now, if you look at the chart that was forecasted on gold, I don't know if we still have the previous one or if we've got the latest update. Let's have a look at the latest update on gold. See what we have there. So you should just keep in mind what was detailed on the description of that blog there on gold. So this was the update from the weekend. Expecting this to rally down into the blue box. As you have seen, we've already made a push to the downside. This was at around 144. We're currently at 128 around these levels. Now we're looking for gold to rally down into the blue box. Okay. So when the sequence is not complete, you will see, regardless of these pullbacks, whatever happens there, the indicator keeps showing us that this is not over to the downside. If we're getting to the blue box with this giving us divergence with the RSI, then we're going to start looking at that reversal from the blue box. Okay, so read that detail on the blog on gold. Looking very interesting. Let's look at the current chart. So we've started the drop. For hours well below 50. So any pullback here can come. As long as we are below 50, we're looking for this to continue lower. Okay, so that is gold. We're still looking for more downside. There's no trade setup for entry on this one. Silver on weekend as well. We saw this as a three-wave structure. We saw this one as a three-wave structure, and a push to the upside here. Now we've made a move. We are now making a correction here for a continuation to the downside. 4 hour does not have a trade setup. Let's see what we're getting here on the 1 hour. So this is the reason why we still expected silver to continue lower. Let's switch off here. We actually looked at this yesterday. We're looking for this to continue lower because the indicator was showing us that we are at the top. We're at the top. So we've actually no, this is on the daily. Yesterday we were on the 4 hour. We showed this on the 4 hour. So the daily is still at the top and still below 50 here. So we're still expecting silver to give us this structure. This is the structure that we're expecting from silver. That is why we've been talking about this 22 level for the last couple of weeks on silver. So every pullback is an opportunity to sell silver, but I'll be looking for silver around here to go on and retest the highs there. And when that leg happens, that is the current leg that we're seeing on gold as well. When that happens, gold reaches its level, silver reaches its level, then we're looking for that for all the commodities to make a push to the upside. So this is the expectation here on silver. Don't mind all of this. These are alerts that I always put on here. Okay, so that's what we're looking at on silver. Platinum, let's have a look at platinum as well, because platinum also looks like it's giving us that one more leg to the downside. I've also projected the blue box on platinum. Oh, not there. Let's project the blue box on the current correction on platinum. We'll be looking for this here on platinum. We're looking for this into the blue box and then upside. This is our corrective structure here. Right, we don't have platinum listed on the website, guys, so just have a look at this one here. Could be a nice one. Has just confirmed downside. Or not quite, broken below here, but that's what we're expecting here on platinum. Let's clean it up. So those who trade commodities, that is the structure we're looking at on platinum. This is a zigzag. We're looking for this downside. Blue box here. Okay, so that's where you will trade. You'll start looking to trade platinum for more upside. So look out for that blue box there. All right, that is platinum. I want us to track our pairs here on pound New Zealand and pound Aussie. Remember what we're looking at on pound Aussie and pound New Zealand is for these to rally for a couple of hundred of pips to the downside. So do we have that confirmation for downside, or are we going to make another leg to the upside before we come down? Okay, on the daily, we have reset here and we're still above 50. So the daily has not confirmed downside and we've not broken here. Let's look at the 4 hour and see if we can have any corrective structure on the boundary here. So the 4 hour does look like it's got a setup and has gone into the blue box. As you can see, we've got that reversal candle. This is what we looked at yesterday. We can actually take the trade there on the blue from the blue box. So we've reached the blue box on the 4 hour and I'm looking to take this one. I'm looking to take this one. If you are a conservative trader, you'd want to wait for the 4 hour to break below here. Then we're looking for downside. So from what we forecasted yesterday, as you can see, we've gone into the blue box and we're making a reversal. That looks like a setup for downside now. We can actually look to take that. Let's look at another thing here to support this view. Remember the heads and tails strategy, the so-called heads and tails strategy. Let's project the fibs here. See how far that retraced. It looks like 38. It's 38% retracement, actually 50% retracement. That's the 50% retracement. If you've got, you should have access, members who've attended the course should have access to the heads and tails strategy. And that is at the confluence of the 50% and the WXY corrective structure from the blue box. So we are selling here. Okay, I'm quiet because I want to execute the trade as well on my phone. Okay, stop loss at the 1,618. I'm going to take this off. Stop loss, if you're taking it from the blue box, which is where we are currently, you take it, it's a little bit far, but that's fine because we're targeting a bigger move to the downside. That is your stop. This is your stop loss, just above 1,618. Okay, why do we put a stop there? If you've attended the course, you'll know that if it goes above 1,618, then that means that is an impulsive move to the upside. Okay, so now we are going to execute the trade here. Okay, and put a stop at 18132. That is about, that's actually far. That's actually too far. Let's see here. Let's measure this. Current levels. It's actually a decent stop. 70 pips is good. 70 pip stop. Just make it 80 pip stop there. Let's see what we get. Okay, so that's what we're looking at on pound Audi. An aggressive entry from the blue box. As you've seen, the daily had not confirmed this yet, but we're taking it anyway. Another one, pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand, another one that's confirming. So with pound New Zealand, is what you need to do. It's the same trade, guys. These two pairs are correlated. These two pairs are correlated. So what you want to do on pound New Zealand, because this is not in the blues, don't have a blue box set up on this one. So what you want to do on pound New Zealand is wait for these two, for the 1 4-hour candle to close below the low of the flag, for this lower boundary of the flag. Not below the low of the flag, because the low of the flag is here. So we want the candle to close below the lower boundary of the flag. So that's a nice one to look at. So we'll be looking for this. So let's put this one on here, alert. No confirmation yet. Right. Euro pound, nothing, no trade set up on Euro pound. Wanna see if I'm missing anything here. Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand may be ready. Actually, look out for Euro New Zealand. It's not a trade setup as yet, but this is what I'm seeing here. You've got divergence here. It has made a new high here. You've got divergence here. And that divergence is coming with a setup here. So a close below this, you'd want to wait for this to do that. So we're at the top. Looks like we're diverting. We're going to go to the downside. Not yet a trade setup there, right? That is Euro New Zealand, Euro CAD. No trade setup on Euro CAD. Euro Chief. Let's see if we're going to start turning up here on Euro Chief. These three waves here. Not trade setup as yet. Remember, we're looking for trade setups here. Let me run through the pound pairs. The euros, there doesn't seem to be much of a trade setup there on the euros. Okay, US pound CAD, 1, 2, 3, retest the top and continue to the downside. We looked at that view on Sunday as well, that we can get this one tagging the low here and bouncing up before continuing lower. So just watch that, no trade setup. Pound Chief. Pound Chief, continuation to the downside. Also look at Pound Chief on the 4-hour. This is a nice trade setup as well if this one starts breaking below here. So put in your alerts here. Pound Chief. We'll be watching this one to continue lower. Okay, that's my alert there. Continuation to the downside. I hope you all have a trading journal and you are writing all of these down, and these are good for tracking. Right, we've gone through all the pound pairs, pound CAD, pound chief, Audi and New Zealand. Euros are not giving us much. There's that euro. You can look at to get it down here as well. But that's not a trade setup. We're just going to be watching that. Great. Okay. That's watching that. Right. Euros, pound. Audis. We've looked for trade setups there. Let's look at the yens. Pound yen. Continuation to the downside. But it's still going to go sideways. Still not yet ready. We want to see this structure complete, then we'll look for this. So watch out for that. Why am I drawing that? That's because we've got this here. Remember what we discussed here. This may even make an ending diagonal there, but this is still showing us a continuation to the downside. The structure we're looking at, if you look at the website, is for this to continue around these levels. Could make a running or an expanding flat. That's what we have on pound yen. Pound US dollar, we were here yesterday. We said it's going to come down here. Has done this. Nothing unusual about that. There's 3 waves coming to the downside. We should see a bounce here. We should see a move here. Then we'll look for the trade to do this before any move to the upside. So the structures are looking very interesting. That is US dollar yen, euro yen. Euro yen, very strong divergence. We will see a deeper correction here, but we're still looking for this to be a continuation to the upside before we push up higher. Possibly to even retrace to about 50% of this whole move. Then we'll look for upside. That is the euro. So the yen pairs are looking downside short term. Looks like chief yen as well is going to give us this pullback in 3 waves before pushing up higher. We could be getting the yen pairs analysis this at 11 a.m. I think that's the next one that comes. We'll send out a schedule of which pairs are analyzed when. But the idea is to have all those pairs all analyzed in a week. So chief yen, don't do anything yet. Look at this for continuation to the upside. I'm not looking for downside. The sequence is still upside. Pullback here is just that. It's a pullback. Looking for downside here. As you can see, that's what we discussed yesterday. Just like pound yen, it's actually playing out as expected. Yesterday, that's what we looked at. So yesterday, we saw this has made a shallow pullback here. But even there, even if it had done so, the RSI was dipping below here to the downside. So everything was confirming downside, even without a decent corrective structure, just looking at the indicator alone. Let's just wrap the yens with New Zealand and yen. So New Zealand can bounce from current levels before continuing lower and give us this corrective structure here. Same as the Audi. The Audi can also bounce from current levels and continue lower from around these levels. All right. So we've done the commodities. Let's look at the cryptocurrencies. Okay, the indices, nothing has changed, guys. No divergence, nothing. Still pushing up higher. So I'm gonna go skip right through the indices, just look for continuation patterns to the upside. There's no divergence. RSI and price are doing the same thing. So that means the next pullback is still a continuation to the upside. Let's look at the cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, 62,000, 63,000. Looking for further up highs. So nothing has changed from the analysis from the weekend. We had this corrective structure here. No, let's do this properly. We had this move up here. This looks like this was all a pullback, and we're starting to get a move here in another 5 waves in this lower degree. Bitcoin should continue pushing up higher. All right, so that's what we have there on Bitcoin. Ripple is also doing the magic and pushing up higher as forecasted. So our wave 3 on Ripple did not quite give us a double, but it's just pushed up higher. So we were looking for Ripple to do this as an update. This was our chart of the week. Remember, from 0.618, this is where we picked this one up. Went and doubled. It is still pushing up higher. So here was a wave 3. I'll show that wave 3 on the chart just now. We're looking for it to at least pull back around these levels. It never did. That meant that this was all the 3 waves. That is a wave 3. Then it starts with a diagonal to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Diagonal. 1, 2. Now we're looking for 3, 4, 5 in green. And that will be the wave 5 in the red degree. Let's go to the chart. Is it still there as chart of the week? I think it was updated as chart of the week, Ripple. So this is what we're looking at. We're looking for Ripple to give us another move here like that. But instead, this was actually all the correction. That means this is a wave 4 on Ripple. Now we're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the green degree. Green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So that's what we have on Ripple. We're still pushing up higher. We're currently around here. Nothing has changed there. Let's look at the other cryptos. Ethereum has made a flat, very nice flat correction, textbook flat correction for a continuation to the upside. So a break above this means we're going to see further up high, further highs on Ethereum. Litecoin, nice 3-wave pullback, and we're now pushing up higher. Okay, that's what we have. Looking for further up. Ethereum to push further up higher. I want us to look at Dogecoin as well. Dogecoin, let's have a look at Dogecoin. We've posted this one up on our social media pages. I didn't put it up at, I didn't post up at on the watch list. Let's have a look at Dogecoin US dollar. So Dogecoin 4 hour. So this was the chart. I hope you guys are following us on Twitter, because we post these updates on Twitter as well. Just an idea on Dogecoin, not a trade setup or anything. It was an idea that we have on Dogecoin. Let's see here. This is the recent charts. I'm supposed to be here. There's the idea on Dogecoin, posted yesterday. So we are looking for this to do that. That's the structure we're looking at on Dogecoin. So we're looking at this bigger corrective structure here. Dogecoin is not even listed on our platform, but this, I mean, we've got many charts analyzed and labeled, so whenever there's an idea, we always post it. So this is Dogecoin, and we're looking for this to be a corrective structure and for this to rally into the blue box. If you look at the red degree here, we've made 3 waves to the downside, 1, 2, 3. 3 waves to the upside, 1, 2, 3. We're expecting another 3 waves to the downside on Dogecoin. Okay, so this is how this is playing out. From yesterday, we were about around 0.071. There's a lot of noise about Dogecoin and how it has rallied almost double, just like Ripple. Dogecoin has done the same thing, almost 100% move in the last couple of days. But we are looking for this one to start continuing to the downside. If we're wrong about this, we are going to see this make a 3-wave move. Make a retest of the blue box and still push to the downside. We are still looking for downside. The bias is downside here. Okay, heads and tails strategy. We have retraced to about 61%. It's actually 70% on this one. So we are looking for this to push lower. Harmonic pattern, Gartley. That's how we're looking at this. That's all for today, guys. Make note of all the setups that we have identified. Track them. We'll post as and when they confirm, but you can also execute them when you see them confirm. Have a good day, guys. We'll see you at 11 a.m. GMT. Cheers. Bye-bye.